Welcome all my future homeowners out there. If you're looking to buy new construction here in the Austin area, then you've come to the right place. My name is Omar Pineda with eXp Realty, your Austin realtor, and today we are in the city of Georgetown, Texas, looking at Perry Homes in a community called Parkside on the river. Now this floor plan has 4 beds, anywhere from 3 to 4 bathrooms, starts at 2,800 square feet and can go as big as 3,500 square feet, 1 to 2 stories, and can have a 2 or 3 car garage configuration. Now, one thing you might notice about Perry Homes if you go on their website is they do not advertise their incentives, and they do that intentionally because they first want you to come to one of their model homes, fall in love with one of their floor plans, and then discuss incentives. Now, they do that because they want you to really fall in love with their homes first. And I kind of like that because I know most buyers, and I know I'm guilty of saying this in the past, is just to go with the builder that has the cheapest and that has the most incentives. But Perry Homes thinks a little bit differently. They really stand by their craftsmanship, they really stand by their workmanship, and they want you to fall in love with that first and then work with the incentives. And they have some pretty good incentives, and in the form of flexible cash. So if you're a buyer and you need help with that interest rate, that way you can get enough purchasing power to be able to get into one of these homes, they're willing to help you with that. If you need help with the closing costs, that you can use some of that cash they're willing to give you for that. Or for if you want some cash for home upgrades, they can help with that too. Now, in the past, these incentives have only been kind of earmarked for home upgrades at their design center, but now they're opening that up to help buy down that interest rate and help pay for closing costs because they see that as the big pain points right now, given the state of the marketplace. Now, let's see here now. Oh yes, so one thing that really stood out to me when I was walking through the Perry Homes was their attention to detail. And I actually learned this from one of the salespeople. Take note in all their light switches, all their screws are 6 to 12. They do that intentionally because they want you to see their attention to detail and their craftsmanship. Oh, and I almost forgot, their home warranty. They have a 2-year home warranty for their workmanship, which is a big deal because most builders only have it up to 1 year. Now that's how much they stand by their product. And on top of that, the same people, the same construction team that are building these homes, they're the ones that are doing all the warranty repair work. Now, that's a big deal because some builders, even though they offer their standard 1-year warranty when it comes to their workmanship, they might hire a third-party service provider to do the repair work. Now, that might be okay, but then you kind of lose a little bit of that quality control. And in Perry Homes, they really stand by their product, and they want to maintain that control because they want the value of the homes and that their brand to be like, hey, we want full control, and we want to keep the quality of our homes up to par because they have very high standards. And I really like that, and that stood out to me. The second thing was Perry Homes was originally had its start in Houston, Texas. And in Houston, Texas, they have hurricanes. So they initially built their homes and tested them against hurricane winds. Now, they still build with that same craftsmanship and that same building practices here in the Austin area. So in Austin, Texas, we don't get hurricanes, but we do get tornadoes sometimes, and we do get very heavy winds. So what am I saying is that these homes are built to stand, and they're not going to shake, and they're very well insulated. And Perry Homes stands by that because they're tested the same way in Houston. They're tested the same way here in Austin. So you're going to feel that the quality. You're going to feel the workmanship when you're walking through a Perry home, and it's going to stand out right away. I know I felt that when I was walking through. So those are 2 things that really stood out to me that I really liked about Perry Homes. Okay, so a great question I get asked from my buyers is like, is this area a good investment? What's this home appreciation look like? So when I ran the numbers for the zip code in this area, 78628, I looked back as far as 2018, the median price of a home. We were looking at $339,000. Fast forward to 2023, Median price of a home, $509,000. That's a 8.44% year-over-year appreciation in your home value. Now, that's not to say that's what future home appreciation is going to look like, but just gives you a good idea looking at the past trends to see how much this area has grown. So, what's the next steps look like if you're looking to get into a Perry home? Let's schedule a virtual consultation because that's usually the quickest and fastest way for us to get face-to-face time, especially if you're looking to move in the next 30 to 60 days. That way we can come up with the game plan, speak a little bit more on your criteria and what you want out of a community, because all these master plan communities have a different feel, have a different vibe to them, and especially because of where they're located. And that way we can talk a little bit more in detail about the incentives that they have and elaborate a little bit more on how they can benefit you. And then we can go ahead and schedule a visit with the sales manager and tour one of these model homes. Now remember, one thing when it comes to buying new construction, and if you're a first-time home buyer or you've never bought new construction, is I want you to get in the mindset of the best incentives are to be had during the off season. So during the slow season. So not the spring and not the summer. That's when buyer activity is at its peak. That's when a lot more people, that's when the masses come out during those times in the summer, in the springtime. And that's when these builders start taking away these incentives or are willing to give less, because the way it works is Perry Homes is a big builder out here in the Austin area. So they're building in multiple communities all at the same time. And all these communities pull from the same source of money. So these funds are limited in how much they're willing to give. So if buyer activity is picking up and there's a lot more people closing, that means they're going to deplete these funds a lot quicker. And if you're home shopping during the off season when it's slow, like right now, as we're towards the end of the winter time, that's when there's more funds available. So that's what I want you to get in the mindset of, is you want to go during the off season. And why do you want to work with me? It's because I've already built a lot of good rapport with the sales manager. I've gone through the process with them. I've toured a lot of these model homes, so I have a really good feel for what they look like, especially because I do a ton of content, and new construction is definitely an area where I focus on, and I try to keep up with all the latest builds that are popping up, because in the Austin area, there's so much new construction happening, not just on the residential side, but on the commercial side. So it's a really good just niche to pick, or in this area to focus in on, because there's so much happening. And all these builders have different incentives. All of them have a different kind of criteria on how they build and how they kind of view third-party inspections. And that's a big thing too. Even though this is a brand new construction build, a third-party inspection is a must, because we can get into that during the consultation. So you're in the very next step. Let's schedule some face-to-face time, be it a virtual consultation, or if you're local to the Austin area, we can meet face-to-face. That way we can go over all this again in greater detail, and that way you can get comfortable, because the big thing about this process is being comfortable with the people that you're going to be going through this journey with. And I really want you to feel comfortable with me as we start this journey together. So if you like all things new construction, please subscribe and follow my channel, because I definitely cover a lot of new construction here in the Austin area. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin Realtor with eXp Realty. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.